Jamal Mecklai, CEO of Mecklai Financial Services, joins us on the show. Mr. Mecklai, good to have you. 64.44, the pressure of the downside continues.
Clearly. I was very hopeful this morning when things appeared to hold up. But, you can't hide from reality, right? The fact is there is a lot of demand. And, this appears to be real demand. I don't think this is speculative demand because, SBI has been buying all day. So it must be for oil companies, whatever. But it's sort of like left hand and right hand, right? RBI is trying to prevent it from falling, but there is real demand. So I think it's just, we've got to move out of the box and do some structural things. The Band-Aids are being blown away.
Right. So, Mr. Mecklai, what's the call really for the near? Because there seems to be a lot of fear as well. I take your point that there is genuine demand, but that coupled with the fact that despite any and all measures being taken, the rupee continues to low, that probably even puts in a bit of a fear in the minds of people. How much further in the interim, or rather in the near term, do you give the currency? Do you think we can slide out all the way to 65 and beyond in the immediate term itself?
Babu, there is no way anyone can tell, right?
I agree.
This morning it looked like it had been held up. Obviously it hasn't. So of course it can. It's north of 64. Breaking 65 is just a matter of blowing your nose. Of course it can break 65. But I don't know that it will. Things may calm down. But see, one of the things that's very interesting, yesterday, I talked to this company, right, who had some small company, 1,000 crore company. They had about a $40-50 million borrowing, which was unhedged. They just closed their eyes and hedged it last week, right? They ended up paying, then their borrowing cost turned out to be 20%. But they didn't want to take any more risk. So a lot of the demand that's coming in is real at this point because people are saying, my God, it's over.
Mr. Mecklai, you spoke about some structural changes. What can really be done in a market scenario like this where there's also global pressure side of local circumstances?
I think it's, you've probably heard about this idea I've been floating about gold, right? And, maybe, and I don't know that it would work, but maybe the government and RBI can put a package together, go to the religious trust, try to get their gold out. Maybe that would help. My thinking is, it's looking pretty bad, right? I think perhaps we just got to put our hands up, let it go where it will. When it stops falling, money will come in. Are you going to buy rupees today? I don't think you're going to find a single person, right? But if the rupee falls and stops falling on its own, without any sort of constraint, then money will come in. Money will come in like gangbusters.
Right.
So it's a very difficult situation.
You go, Mr. Mecklai. Just one quick question on the expectation from the US FOMC meeting. Do you believe that comments there could actually pacify even the domestic currency or not quite?
No, sorry. What was your question?
I'm asking you if indeed, if we see comments of the QE tapering starting September, what do you think the impact on the domestic currency could be?
See, one of the things that's particularly frightening to me is that actually the dollar has been weakening overseas, right? The dollar index has come from 82 to like 81.0, north of 82 to almost 81. And despite that, the rupee is weak, right? So, the risks are obviously on the downside.
It almost seems like everybody's buying the sterling pound.
I'm going on a holiday to London next week. It's 100 rupees a pound. Terrifying.
Yeah, we hope your Oyster card doesn't cost you too much money, Mr. Mecklai, but thanks so much and all the best with that holiday as well. Thanks so much for taking the time out and being with us.